Hey guys, what's up? Hope everything's going well. And today I want to talk about being in a relationship with someone on the Enneagram Type 2. Of course, I am a 7, wing 6, and my wife is a 2, wing 1. And I saw on one of the Enneagram groups, a husband was talking about his wife that's a 2, and he was asking for help in, getting along with, he called his wife an unhealthy 2. And he was looking for advice in one of the Facebook groups on, how do I get along with my wife, or how do I relate in a better way to my wife, which he classified as an unhealthy 2. And so I've been thinking about that. My wife and I have been married for 28 years now at the filming of this video, and we dated for 4 years before that. We have 5 kids together, and we are, absolutely a committed couple, love each other, and relate well to one another. And I think that I could give you some advice for, first of all, any number when they're unhealthy can be problematic. Not just, a 2 like this gentleman was referring to, but any person in unhealth is going to be difficult to relate to or have difficulty in relationships. And the reverse of that is true too. Any type, when they're healthy, will seem like the most amazing person ever. It really doesn't matter what their Enneagram type is. When people are healthy and they're functioning well away from their personality, apart from their personality, when they are functioning in health and their personality is not controlling them, not dominating their behaviors and actions and thoughts, they will seem like the most awesome person, regardless of what their number is. They'll be an awesome 5 or an awesome 6 or a great, 8. but when they're in unhealth, they're going to be maybe difficult to relate to. So how do you relate to 2s? Let's make that the subject of our conversation and see if this video can help those of you who are in relationships with 2s, or maybe are parents of a child that's a 2, or your parent is a 2. Because I've had a lot of time to think about this. I think that, we tend to think of 2s as being big-hearted people. And they are. They do have a big heart that, will pour out, sometimes gush out attention and affection and kindness to even strangers. But I think it's more appropriate to think of 2s as having big heart tanks more than a big heart. Meaning that big heart tank needs to be filled. And when it is full or full enough, then you'll see that love come splashing out of them. Now, ultimately, they're responsible for filling their heart tank, but they don't necessarily understand that about themselves if they're haven't done a lot of work through the Enneagram. They're going to look for the people closest in their life to be the fillers of that heart tank. In other words, they wake up in the morning and it's like they look at a progress report to see, am I loved today? Am I feeling loved today? And they're going to look to the people that are closest to them to supply them with that information that, yes, you are loved. Yes, you are cared for. Yes, you are the special friend, the needed friend. To further complicate matters a little bit, think of that tank, that heart tank, as though there's holes in the bottom of it. And so whatever love is already in that tank is always kind of being depleted. It's always kind of running out those holes, and it needs to be replaced. It needs to be poured back in because it's always kind of, flowing away from them. And if they don't feel like that they're getting that love shown to them in the way that is meaningful to them, then they will feel frustrated. They will feel unloved or unlovable or unworthy. Remember, it's a worth and shame type. So as a 7, I don't ever sit around and think about, do the people in my life love me? I'm thinking about, what are we doing today? What adventure are we going on? But a 2, I think, is waking up and sort of thinking to themselves, do the people in my life love me? Do they care about me? Am I important to them? Do I matter? And they're looking for those people to supply that information for them. When they don't get that information back, when they feel like they're being taken for granted, when they feel like they're being not appreciated, they probably aren't going to complain about it. They may not say anything out loud because they don't want to have needs that they vocalize. What they might do is, in kind of resentment, they might turn away from the people that are supposed to be supplying that information and look externally to strangers, neighbors, friends, and try to relate to those outsiders and get that information from those outsiders that, yes, I am needed. Yes, I am cared about. Yes, I am special. Yes, I am important. And so they may turn away, in a sense, momentarily away from the insiders to more like the outsiders and try to meet needs, compelled to meet needs externally, so that they'll get that information that, yes, you are needed, yes, you are helpful, yes, you are cared for. And then they'll kind of look back at the family like, see, these people over here, they appreciate me. These people over here, they communicate their gratitude for me, their love for me. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you people? How come you won't show me how much you love me, or remind me of how important I am to you? And if you can understand this about twos, I think it can help you relate to them better. That it's like you need to remind them daily that you love them and that they are important and they are special and they are cared for. And that they're first on your list. First on your list, if it's your spouse, that they're a priority to you. And although this may not be important to you if you're not, within that worth triad, it's important to them. That love, because the way I understand it, the way I've seen it explained by other twos, is they often feel like when they're in a group of people, like family, friends, whatever, they feel like they're kind of on the outside looking in. Similar to, I think, the way a 4 feels. A 4 always kind of feels like they're different, they don't fit in. But I think the 4, it's more like everybody has the way they dress, and everybody has the way, the music they like, and the food they like, and the television shows they like, and the 4 feels different from all of that. I think that what happens in a 2 is they feel like everybody's in the house and everybody's laughing and talking and relating to each other, and where do I fit in this? They want to be right in the middle of it. They want to be like the reason everybody's happy, the reason everybody's gathering, the reason they want to be the person that relates to everyone and everybody's connected to them, and they want to be the reason everybody's happy. They don't want to disappoint anybody. They don't want to bring disappointment to anybody. But if everybody's laughing and relating and having a good time and they're not included in that, they're going to feel like, well, where do I fit? What's my connection to all this? Maybe I'm not needed here. Maybe I'm replaceable. And these are all questions of worth and value. And so they're going to feel like maybe I'm replaceable, maybe I'm not important, maybe I'm not valued, maybe I'm not loved. And you'll see this person with this giant heart kind of go dark and not show a lot of love, not be able to show a lot of love or demonstrate a lot of love because they don't feel loved themselves. So it's like, since they don't feel loved, they're going to make you feel, maybe not intentionally, but they're going to make you feel unlovable yourself. And when that happens, don't panic. Just continue to lean in and try to show love and some compassion and some grace, and reaffirm. You might be tempted to withdraw and say, well, hey, if you're going to be like that, then, and then go off and do your own thing. But when you see them go dark like that, if you can do what maybe doesn't come naturally to you and lean in and show love and reaffirm your love and your commitment and your devotion to them, then you'll see maybe the light come back on, and them regain that, oh yes, that's right, I am loved, I am cared about, I am not replaceable, I do have worth and value. Now, like I said at the beginning of this, ultimately, this is their struggle. And they're going to have to understand that about themselves. And their pride sometimes can keep them from understanding that or being willing to accept that. But this is their struggle, and they're going to have to take ownership of that, and they're going to have to work through this on their own. But in the meantime, you have to be compassionate with them. They're going to have to come to the conclusion that regardless of whether or not I feel like people are showing it to me appropriately, I know I'm loved and I'm cared about. And maybe I'm being loved even though it isn't the way I want to receive it. After all, like when a 7 loves you, they want to do stuff with you. And that's how they communicate love, is let's go do things together. When an 8 loves you, they want to argue and debate and banter with you. When a 5 loves you, they want to share information with you. And so that isn't necessarily the way the 2 wants to be loved, by sharing information and bantering and going on adventures. They want to stand out and know that they're secure and that they're important to you and that they're special to you. And when you don't feel that as a 2, it doesn't mean that people don't love you and that you're not special and important and all that to them. So you're going to have to learn to, see what is actually there, not what your personality is telling you is there. But I hope this is helpful to you guys that are in relationships with 2s. I hope it helps you be more compassionate, more understanding, and ultimately all of us more present to life. All right, thank you guys, and blessings.